American pastor Andrew Brunson marked his second year as a prisoner in Turkey Sunday. Senator James Lankford called on Turkey to release Pastor Brunson. Business leaders and religious freedom advocates are also working for Brunson's release. Jennifer Wishon has more.
During a recent trip to the U.S., Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan met with hundreds of investors. His country's economy is failing due in part to U.S. sanctions, and he's appealing to American investors to help Turkey recover. In a letter to President Trump, the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom calls that troubling, given Erdogan's personal and public support for the continued unlawful detainment of American pastor Andrew Brunson.
It's such an unstable country right now that in the way that the human rights violations that are occurring are so troubling, as we're seeing with Andrew Brunson, that we would really caution businesses to be careful about investing in Turkey.
Pastor Brunson has been detained in Turkey for nearly 2 years on bogus charges. During that time, the Turkish lira has lost 40% of its value due to Erdogan's power grab and the diplomatic dispute between the U.S. and Turkey over Brunson. Still, Commissioner Nadine Mayenza says Erdogan is using Brunson as a pawn to play to his Islamist base and distract from the pain Turks are feeling in their pocketbooks.
Their economy is spiraling, and their currency has devalued, and there's all sorts of problems in Turkey. So this is a really good distraction for the president to be able to point to this and say, see, look, I'm protecting our country from dangerous terrorists. And we all know Andrew Brunson is not a dangerous terrorist.
You know, here in the U.S., on mainstream news channels, news outlets, we're not hearing about Pastor Brunson on a daily, weekly, even monthly basis. But in Turkey, it's quite different. I mean, it's a huge deal that there's this Christian American man who's been charged with terrorism.
Right, he's been charged with trying to overthrow the government of Turkey, which of course is completely false. And the fact that he's in his home, we're so glad that he's not in prison, but we are concerned for his safety, because if there was, it's not like he's in a secured fortress the way that we feel like he should be. So we actually obviously feel he should be returned immediately to the United States.
There are rumors Turkey may release Brunson around his next hearing on October 12th. A Brunson release would be a tremendous political coup for President Trump, but not nearly as sweet as it would be for his family and the millions of Christians who are praying for him. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Washington.